Game of Thrones is easily one of the most popular television shows airing today. It's more than just a television show, it is an interpretation of the books A Song of Ice and Fire, written by R.R. Martin. The first book, started in 1991, was published in 1996. Since then, 4 more books have been released, with 2 more about to hit the book stands, becoming some of the best sellers of this decade. Game of Thrones is set in a land called Westeros in medieval times. It's a tale of intrigue by several major families fighting for power over the Seven Kingdoms. The story has a wide range of characters, each with their own deep and tragic flaws, but also redeeming qualities, personifying various incarnations of mythological heroes. It becomes clear in the first book that the real plot has to do with a lurking and growing danger in the frigid northern cold, the undead White Walkers. However, in the south, below the wall that separates the walkers from the rest of mankind, the people are in such great desire of ultimate power that they turn a blind eye to the dangers that lay waiting for them. With a very long winter approaching, the struggle for power may end up being a tale of survival or tragedy. But Game of Thrones is more than just a book or a TV show. It is a monomyth. Joseph Campbell's life work, The Hero with 1,000 Faces, describes the common stages of a hero's journey commonly found throughout stories. The concept of the monomyth might not be appealing to everyone, but it is very intriguing to see how it applies commonly throughout most stories, books, and even modern-day movies and TV shows that we love, such as Game of Thrones. Let's talk a little bit more about the monomyth and what exactly a hero's journey is. As you can see, a hero's journey can be mapped out along a path, with certain steps that the hero takes along the way. First up would be call to adventure. The hero starts in the familiar world. They receive a call to adventure. Something happens in the hero's real world that needs immediate attention. Often when the call is given, the future hero refuses to heed it. But once committed to the quest, the hero becomes known or receives aid via a person or an item. The hero sets off on their journey and now starts to cross off into the unfamiliar or unknown world. They cross the first threshold. The hero has crossed into their new unknown world. Normally they're scared and out of their comfort zone, and some of the steps along the way they will encounter will be the belly of the whale, road of trials, meeting with the goddess, temptation, and atonement with the Father. We'll get a little bit more into detail with those later, but for now let's move on. Revelation. This is seen as one of the key moments, or a climax if you will. There is a revelation, normally via death and or rebirth. After this revelation, the hero takes a few more steps in their journey. Normally they will encounter transformation, the ultimate boon, refusal of return. We'll also get back to those here in a little while. Heroes back in their familiar world. They are back in their comfort zone, but they are not the same person. This is where the quest can start all over again, because a hero's journey is really a big cycle. They start with a new call to adventure, but there are a few more steps that need to be taken before they get all the way back to the beginning, and some of those steps will be a magic flight, rescue from without, crossing the return threshold, master of 2 worlds, and freedom to live. Freedom to live. There's a quote that I found, and it says, "Mastery leads to freedom from the fear of death, which in turn is the freedom to live." The hero now lives in the moment at the end of their journey. They do not anticipate the future, nor do they regret the past. They are transformed and anew, normally with a large respect, admiration, or hatred from the surrounding community. They possess new qualities and strengths that aren't common and once weren't previously self-known. As I said, the hero's journey can start back over, and you could jump from freedom to live back down to call adventure, and they could go on a new exciting quest. And that normally does happen. So does Game of Thrones So does Game of Thrones fit the archetype for a monomyth? The main character of Game of Thrones is arguably Daenerys Stormborn of House Targaryen. Daenerys is a very young girl who is transforming into womanhood. She has had a rough childhood, and being hidden away from the Baratheons, she longs to go home. Her call to adventure is when she is brokered into marriage. Her refusal to the call is when she tells her brother that she doesn't want to marry her pre-assigned husband, Khal Drogo, and that she just wants to go home. Her brother insists upon it, saying marrying Khal Drogo and obtaining his army is the only way to go home. Her supernatural aid appears in two ways. In this scene, you see her meeting her mentor, Ser Jorah, and you see her obtaining an unknowingly powerful gift, her dragon eggs.
A small gift for the new Khaleesi. Songs and histories from the Seven Kingdoms.
Thank you, sir. Are you from my country?
Ser Jorah Mormont of Bear Island. I served your father for many years. Gods be good, I hope to always serve the rightful king.
Dragon's eggs, Daenerys, from the Shadowlands beyond Ashai. The ages have turned them to stone, but they will always be beautiful.
Thank you, Magister.
So Daenerys now has her eggs and her mentor, but she is then gifted a white horse by her husband Khal Drogo. This is where she crosses her threshold. Daenerys and her husband mount up on the horses, and he takes her off to take her virginity. Her threshold is womanhood, and she has just crossed into it. Now that she is becoming a woman, Daenerys is beginning to embrace her title of Khaleesi, which is queen in Dothraki. We're going to spend a little bit of time here because the moments building up to the revelation are many and are all equally important. Her road of trials includes not only the challenge of learning a new language and learning how to be a proper wife and lover, but she also ends up eating the heart of a horse to prove that she is a true Dothraki.